Hello everyone. The Wisconsin duck opener is not this weekend but next, and I've got a bit of a project that I'm going to be working on this weekend with my buddy Dan. We're going to take these two 12-foot John boats and turn them into layout boats that we can use in the marsh. The general idea is that we are going to use this cattle fencing to put over the top of the John boats, and then we'll be using some of this fabric to cover them up. We have some ginseng fabric here. This is used to provide shade for ginseng. And then I've got some of this camouflage die cut material. So we'll be putting that over the cattle fencing. And then on top of that, we'll be throwing in some grass mats to hopefully add to the concealment. Then we'll cut down some stuff that's around the area and add that on there as well. Not exactly sure how the project's going to turn out, but we're going to give it a go and hopefully we'll have some kind of success with it. Okay, we're here at Dan's shop and we're going to take that cattle fencing. We have it laid on here and we've marked where the end of the boat is, so we're going to cut it right about there, and then we'll have an extra piece to kind of mess around with to do what we want. Okay, so we took the cattle fencing and we have it cut down to length. And now looking at it, we've decided that we're going to take out this middle seat so two guys can lay down kind of diagonal in the bottom of the boat and be completely underneath that cattle fencing. All right, so we cut out the middle seat, and underneath the middle seat was some foam block. So we took the foam block and we cut that out to make a headrest for the person that's going to be in the front position. The person in the back position is going to put their head on the seat with a cushion underneath it. We also cut out the back part that's going to be open all the time, and then we cut out the front part that's going to be open all the time, plus where the door is going to go. We're going to work on that next, and once we get that put together, I'll show you what that looks like. All right, before we get the doors on, we decided to cut off a couple more small sections and weld in some rod. Just to kind of make a little bit more space so we're not getting caught on. And then we're also going to add this bar across here just to kind of support the cattle fencing and the doors when we eventually get those on. Alright, so we have the door in. So you can see we've got some hinges here that'll help open it up. And then we've got some flat bar there that will keep it from caving in on itself. So the general idea will be that it'll flip up like that when you want to shoot, and then when you don't want to shoot, you'll put it down like that. It's kind of hard to see without the material on there, but you get the general idea. All right, so we have the other door in. So there it is in the closed position. And then when it flips open, you'll have plenty of room to sit up and shoot. We have the 3 hinges on there, and once we get the material on, it will quiet down considerably. All right, so we have the cockpits all done. This one's gonna flip open like that, and this one here will flip open like that. The ginseng fabric is on there and zip tied down, so we have to add some of the other fabric here in the next couple of days. We're gonna call it quits for tonight, but we got quite a bit done, and it'll be interesting to see how it turns out from here. Here's boat number 2. I didn't show you this one getting put together. Dan went into the shop one day for a couple of hours and threw it together himself. He said it was a lot easier to do now that we had a general idea of what the first one was like. But the only big modification that he made was in the door area. He made it one large area, so when the doors are opened up, you can see the cockpit's basically rectangular in shape. We still put the support beam in there, and then we also put a beam in the back. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this before or not, but this back area is where we're going to be putting the dog. So I'm going to get this one rigged up with the ginseng mesh, and I'll show you what that looks like when that's finished. I have the ginseng fabric on both of the boats. This is that first boat that we did. I laid the fabric over the top of it, and then I cut out around the doors. On the second boat here, I cut the slots out where the hinges were on the doors and fed the doors through those slots, and then put the fabric down. So you can see the doors don't have any ginseng fabric on them. I'm going to do those separately and see how that turns out compared to how that first one goes. But that's about where I am right now. The next step will be to take care of those doors and then put on the die cut camouflage material that I had showed you guys earlier. The doors are done. It was a bit more work than doing it the other way, but I think they turned out better in the long run. I used quite a few zip ties to get them on there, and I folded over the fabric quite a bit. I had to poke some holes in there with scissors to get the zip ties through, but I don't think that fabric's going to come off anytime soon, which is kind of nice because these are going to be the parts that are going to be opening and shutting the most. So I wanted to make sure it was on there good and steady. Alright, so the camel material is on there and it's zip tied down in a few places. The camel piece was longer than the boat was, so I left a little bit on the end here to cover up the dog and then some. I still have some left over, so I don't know if I'm going to do the doors the way I did the ginseng fabric on this first one, or if I'm going to do the doors like I did with the ginseng fabric on the second one. I think I have enough material left over to do the doors like I did on the second one, but I'll think about it between today and tomorrow and see what I come up with. But that's where I am for the end of tonight. Last night when I was going to bed, I was thinking about how to do that, and I decided I was going to cut around them like I did with the ginseng fabric on the first boat. So this morning when I got up before I went to work, I just cut them up really quick, and I think that turned out pretty good. I just have to put some camel material on the doors now, and we should be good to go. Alright, boat 1 is done. I camoed up the doors. You can see the area there where your head will be sticking out. The doors are pretty blended in. They're right here. So if you flop that open, there's that cockpit. And then on this side, if you flip this one open, there's that cockpit. I left enough material on this door so that when you close it, you can flip this material over and kind of cover up a little bit better if you wanted to. And then on this door, I didn't have much material left over, but that's not a very big opening to begin with. So on to the other boat. Got a little bit of work ahead of me, but I think it'll pay off in the end. Boat 2 is finished. I did not show you guys the whole process on this one because it was the same as the last boat. The doors turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with them. One thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was what we're going to be doing with our guns while we're hunting. We're going to be laying them across our laps just like you would if you were in a layout blind in the field hunting for geese. We have some spots cut open in here so the gun barrels can stick out. When we open the door, our guns will be free and clear to do the shooting. The next time you guys see these, they'll be in action. We're going to take them out to the duck marsh tomorrow and put the grass mats on them and some other natural vegetation to help them blend in a little bit. But hopefully the next time you see these, like I said, will be when we're out hunting and we're getting into some birds. Thanks for watching these videos. I hope you got some ideas for possibly making a boat like this on your own. See you later.